Just to put into perspective the climb. So you see in the distance there's a little hamlet group of houses. That's the 16.1k mark. It has a camping spot, hostel, etc. Fresh water which runs down from the stream, which you don't find in the valley. But essentially, that point was already on the decline. So we started up, I think you can see the trail actually, on the other side of that mountain range at kind of a ground level, a lower level. Then ascending up, actually you can see just here, this is perfect, you can see everything from here actually. Pretty cool. So you see that zigzag there. So at the top is the mirador, the first mirador, and that is the, let's say 200 meters before that, you've got a road, so you can actually bike back down if you're lucky enough to find a taxi or whatever. They can call a driver if for whatever reason you don't want to walk. There's also a really reasonable hostel backpacking cafe place there. The coffees were free. We paid 16 for 2 coffees and 2 egg and cheese sandwiches, which is pretty good. That's €3.70 for 2 sandwiches and 2 coffees, though unfortunately when you get to these kinds of places the prices do go up naturally, because everything from that point on to this point, actually to where we are now, has to be carried by donkey, mule or horse. So you've got huge wagons not wagons, but trains, for lack of a better term, just like loads of mules carrying various supplies, the gas, the water, etc. So when you get down to the base and other refuges, as they're called, you end up paying something like 11 for a bottle of water, which is really expensive, for Peru, of course. So there's also a swimming pool in that place, by the way, just on the other side of the zigzag where the kind of first Mirador hostel is, which is also where the gateway to the park is, and where you'll pay 60 entrance or 30 if you're a student, which is Seoul, so that's like £6, or £12 if you're not a student or if you don't have a student card. And like I said, there's a swimming pool in that place, and you can buy drinks. A small bottle of whiskey was 18, which again is pretty cheap. It's like €4. But yeah, like this bit seems fine, although in the daytime the heat is insane. There's only 2 shade points which have been artificially constructed from that zigzag down about 1.5 hours, and the sun is blazing if it's out. It's unbelievable. So just a forewarning for that. And again, once you pass this refuge point here, there's no water. So I mean, there is a river, but the river's really polluted. There's all kinds of green gunge that you'll see stuck to the sides. All the rocks are tainted with all kinds of chemicals, etc. Naturally, everything gets washed down into that river, including the probably the excrement and all kinds of other stuff, especially the stuff that they're using for farming. I don't really want to know what that probably is, but yeah, I'd be cautious to use the river, even with a filtration system. But in the base by the bridge, there is a huge abandoned compound. I guess it was like a public campground at one point, and yeah, it was just completely abandoned with an absolute ton of infrastructure still in there. Toilets, obviously there's no functioning water or anything like that. There's kitchens and toilets and stuff. A lot of it's quite messy, as you'd understand, but yeah. But then, that point from there, as you can see, I mean, that's already high. I can't show you the base through the tree line, the actual, the river and the kind of the bottom of the ravine, but it's pretty brutal to hike up here. My friends are probably 5 or 6 hours away now, and they're probably, I would say, the average kind of people in terms of fitness. So yeah, if you're average, it's going to take a long time just to get from the base up to the top. So it's 1:15. We left at 6:15. I then got to a point, I think just here actually, the second Mirador on your way back up, where there are places for Wi-Fi. If you've got Movistar or Claro, you will get connection. In certain points, I have Bitel, there's no connection. You can pay 5 Sol for an hour of Wi-Fi, and it was pretty decent, to be fair. Pretty strong. And yeah, like other prices, I'm going to make this an informative video now. Ranted enough. So at the top of the zigzag, yeah, 10 is what you pay there for camping, and that's a really nice place with a swimming pool. So I imagine that's generally the price for anyone's kind of back garden, 10, which is £2. There's loads of restaurants on this bit, but like I said, we left at 6:15. I wasn't taking it super fast. I could blitz this, to be honest. I have a ridiculously heavy bag, mainly because it's shared supplies that I wouldn't need myself. And in hindsight, I think it's probably better to do it yourself than go in a group if you know people in your group aren't particularly fit. So there was a 2-hour break from 9:45 till 9:45 to, I think it was a lot more than that. About 9:45 to 10:45, yeah, a 2-hour break at the Wi-Fi point, waiting for them, but they never showed up because I think they're quite a bit further behind. So yeah, I mean, in essence, if I just blitzed it all the way through, it would be 11:15, which would be 5 solid hours of fast hiking with about 14 kilos on the back. So yeah, and this is the start point. That's why I just started filming here. The entrance is there. Again, you buy the ticket at the very, very start where the zigzags is. So I don't think there's an office here or anyone to check, which is good because they have my tickets. But yeah, I guess I'll film a few more things, and if you're interested, I'm sure they'll be on the channel somewhere.